welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider, the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside Natalie Poole. And Coach, you had to deal with what a lot of people had to deal with this weekend in the Southeast and the Mid-South and even in the Midwest. All softball and baseball teams are scrambling to try to find ball games. Unfortunately for you, you had the home tournament. You guys made a very smart decision, though. I believe it was Wednesday, looking in the forecast and some snow and some rain that already came in, decided we need to scratch the home tournament rather than have to deal with getting all the teams in and then probably not playing.
We did. It was a hard decision because you know that people have been planning a year out to come down here and be able to play in optimal weather. And even though it's a bit questionable at that time of year, we like to be able to host at home. And so, you know, we take that chance. And typically in the past we've been able to pull it out, but this time around we just were not. I mean, we anticipated some really bad weather throughout the weekend, and our field was already full of ice and snow, and so it had started to work its way to defrosting, only to be covered again. So we went ahead and canceled that, and then tried to be able to scramble to try to find something to play, somewhere to play with some teams who also were in the same predicament as us. We were lucky enough to be able to find Ole Miss, who was in the same situation as us. They canceled their home tournament as well. And then Delaware, who was coming down to play at Central Arkansas. So we were able to put something together down at Petal High School, down in Hattiesburg, and a really nice facility, and just an opportunity to get down and be able to play some games and practice. We practiced on Friday night when we got there, even though it rained on us. You know, we were happy to be outside. We had not been outside in about a week, and so it was nice to practice outside, just get on the dirt and be able to push through and get some reps in instead of being indoors.
How was the facility down in Petal? It was great for you guys to be able to find a regional school to go play at. Absolutely.
They're a 6A high school. I think the connection might have been that they have an athlete that's going to be going to Ole Miss. So it was nice to be able to have a place for us to go play. The facility is really nice. It was a nice facility for female sport, and it looks like they've invested well into their program, and so it was nice. There was no issues at all with the facility in general. You know, we went out there and had opportunities to play, and while I looked out there against Ole Miss, and we literally had one upperclassman on the field that entire game, which is hard. You know, we're taking a few hits because of how young we are, but I can't replace being out there on the field and letting them go to the plate and get their at-bats. And some of our kids, we hit over 300 in those two games, and so I was really pleased with some of what we saw offensively from some of our young kids. Defensively and pitching, we need to do a better job. We're a bit inexperienced on the mound, which is hard, but we're fighting through it and we're battling, and they want to win.
I know disappointing with the 6-4 loss to Delaware, the 8-2 loss to Ole Miss, but as you said, at this point in the season, you need at-bats and you need innings for your pitchers.
We really do, and so we could have sat at home and not ended up with a loss, but overall we needed to go and get that experience and just get to the plate more and figure out things that we need to work on and ways to get better, push through some things that we need to get better at.
Another challenging week at home as far as practice, just because you've got everything that came over the weekend.
Yep.
The field sits there frozen. Once it thaws out, then it's just kind of soft dirt. So it's still kind of a challenge, but I know you guys are going to try to grind it out at least for practice this week.
We are. At the end of that doubleheader on Saturday, I talked to them about the fact that we've got to come back and we've got to work on things, and they've got to be able to do it indoors. We've got to be able to work in a modified setting and still be able to be productive. And, we need to think very individually about what we can do, what each person needs to do to get better. And then, we're able to get in there when we can have the space by ourselves so we can spread out and we can do an infield and do those types of things. But, they've got to have the right mindset to be able to be productive in that place. And so today it's supposed to reach 38, and but we still don't know at this point if we could get outside even for an hour because our field is so soggy. From what I understand, we had 7 to 8 inches of precipitation last week, and it's just hard for the field to recover after that. And so if we're indoors for the next 2 days, we'll do that and then head down to Louisiana, where hopefully we can get outside and in some better weather.
You mentioned that you're going to be at the Cowgirl Classic in Lake Charles, Louisiana. You'll play Texas Tech twice, McNeese State once, Holy Cross once in that tournament down there. But for you guys, an advantage you might have, we see it in any kind of outdoor sport when you're kind of trapped inside. You get those teams that, especially when you see them come down from north, I'm sure Delaware was like this.
Yeah.
once they get outside for the first time, they're pretty pumped up to play.
Absolutely. There's definitely a motivation and an excitement that Delaware brought to the field, and and I feel like almost stronger than us. And so, my hope is that the girls will be ready to go down and play, get an opportunity to get out and see some competition this weekend, and go out with the fight to win.
How good's that tournament going to be? I know you got Texas Tech twice out of the Big 12.
Texas Tech is pretty decent. They've had a coaching change. So I know they've had some changes within their program, but they're no doubt going to, bring a good competitive team to the field. And then, McNeese has traditionally done well and came off of a great year last year, and they've had some pretty decent wins so far this early season. So I know that they're going to be tough. And, Holy Cross, I don't know much about them. But again, for us, we're just, we're taking it game by game, trying to win each one at a time, and that's kind of how we'll prepare for the weekend.
And then you'll turn around pretty quick Tuesday. You got a midweek game going down to Oxford.
We do. We'll go back down and see Ole Miss again, and then on Wednesday we'll play Ball State next week before we head out again for the weekend back down to Florida.
All right, going to start to get really busy for you.
Yes, it is.
Coach, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
That is head coach Natalie Poole. I'm Jeff Brightwell for the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.